the Alaska tobacco tax stamp on my pallet of cigarettes?
I don't know. I mean, you might even get away with selling them as Lucy's on the sidewalk.
Yeah. And then what if I buy a 53-foot trailer full of whiskey? Are they going to come verify that I have this 29 count box of whiskey times 50 pallets?
No, of course not. It's because it's not about tobacco and alcohol. It's all about firearms.
Right.
It's all about stifling the Second Amendment in any way that they can. And it's crazy because...
So does that guy have a criminal record? Has that guy
No.
ever been in any sort of trouble with the law? Did he get a speeding ticket last week where he was doing 80 and a 30?
No.
Did he get a reckless drive? Was he a reckless driver? So what they're saying is they don't trust the sales report generated?
No, but because they're trying to stop straw purchases. Because
maybe that's none of their business.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like I'm a Second Amendment absolutist.
Mm-hmm. We just went shooting today.
Yeah, right before recording. I'm a Second Amendment absolutist. I think everybody has the right to bear arms. Mm-hmm. And surprise, surprise, that's what it says in the document.
Yeah. Does anyone have a little joke? So we have the right to bear arms, right? Do we have the right to arm bears?
I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
But
so that one grinds my gears on about 7.
7 out of 10. I like that one. And I mean, I kind of have 2 more, but let's do. Can I do 2 more?
Yeah, let's do 2 more.
2 more. Okay.
Did my wife tell you that things grind my gears?
No. Okay. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Sorry. All right.
Yeah, she gets a kick out of that.
You can already tell. The person in the video, just so you guys know, is a short-haired female with a floof on the top, dressed like a man with a shirt and tie, and she's sharing the news.
What?
If you use Facebook Messenger to send private messages to your friends or family, don't. No social media messaging app is going to be completely private, even if they claim to be end-to-end encrypted.
So it sounds good from the start.
Right, yeah, okay.
It sounds like she's guiding people away from using Facebook Messenger.
To be more private, because they're not encrypted, which I'm fairly certain, like, okay, continue.
It sounds good.
I'm already at a 5.
Facebook just handed over messages between a mother and daughter about abortion pills to the Nebraska police, and now they are facing felony and misdemeanor charges.
So, in Nebraska, due to the overturning of Roe versus Wade recently, there was legislation that was put into effect immediately upon the overturning of Roe versus Wade that made abortion illegal in the state of Nebraska.
So, which, here's the thing, too. If I wanted to sell some meth over Facebook Messenger, that would be reported.
Absolutely.
Which is okay. But now that it includes abortion...
If I call someone a mean name on Facebook, it gets reported.
Well, anyway, is there more?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Jessica Burgess, 41, allegedly purchased abortion pills for her 17-year-old daughter online, and one of the 17-year-old daughter's friends saw her take these pills and tipped off police.
Good for her. Good for that friend. Anyway, continuing.
Police got a warrant and demanded Facebook hand over their messages, which they did. The mother and daughter have been arrested and are charged with performing an illegal abortion, concealing a body, and falsifying information.
So those charges: performing an illegal abortion, hiding a body, and falsifying information. So lying to the police, hiding a body, which tells me that this wasn't a 2-week-old
Right.
abortion. This was a pretty far
Pretty
progressed,
pretty fully
abortion,
developed fetus, essentially.
to where she induced through chemicals this abortion to happen so she could deliver a dead child.
Right.
And then they hid the dead body of the child by whatever means, because we don't know.
Yeah.
And
that, again, is a 10 out of 10 because it involves a child.
yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Facebook is the problem.
But Facebook is the problem, right? Yeah. So.
I mean, Facebook is a problem, but not the problem in this case.
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't be saying the same thing if, like I said, if it was meth.
Yep. Yeah.
In fact, they'd be saying the opposite.
Yeah.
Why shouldn't you not be free to sell meth whenever you want? Why should you not be free to sell weed? It's just a thing.
They said the same. I mean, they kicked the sitting president off of social media for mean words.
Right. Yeah.
For not even committing a crime, and he was disappeared.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Number 4,
and the last one. You already saw this one. You already saw this one. I already showed you, but this one's one that grinds my gears. Was Ted Cruz was interviewing the director
yes.
of the FBI about some leaked documents that show that certain patriotic / veteran / patriotic symbols are now symbols of militia violent extremism.
Yeah.
And that the FBI, along with their chasing after parents, chasing after white supremacy, the ghost of white supremacy, I should say.
Yes, yeah. It's
And-
largely 99.9% doesn't exist.
Yes. Not saying racism doesn't
No,
exist.
I'm not saying racism doesn't exist. I'm saying white supremacy
on the grand scale.
on the grand scale does not exist.
And then anyway, so it's part of those witch hunts.
And I think a lot of the stuff that we're seeing these days too, like there was I think it was the Student Action Summit that Charlie Kirk's organization put on.
Yeah.
And they had some there was that news thing that came about where there were some KKK members, alleged KKK members outside.
Oh, they were Nazis.
Yes, yeah, Nazis, that's right. But
Yep.
I mean, but anyway, so they were outside protesting Student Action Summit. But it's like the news spun it as if
The View.
The View spun it as if the Nazis were part of SAS.
Yes, and that SAS welcomed them
in
to be
yes.
a part of their rally.
But that didn't happen. But also, why would Nazis be protesting something that they view as white supremacist or Nazi or fascist sympathizers? I mean, that screams to me that they were paid to go down there with Nazi paraphernalia.
Yeah, I mean,
But they did it backwards. I think they messed up. I think
Yeah.
they were supposed to try and get in and then reveal their Nazi paraphernalia.
They got stuck outside.
And they got stuck outside. And so they made a mistake and they protested what they were supposed to be trying to align with, which
Yeah.
I think it backfired.
And of course, they were all, wearing dark clothes, masked up, black bloc, the whole Antifa
Right.
kind of shtick. And people from SAS, from inside, went outside and were like, who do you work for?
Right.
Why
yeah.
are you doing this? Because it wasn't like they came out with true Nazi relics. They were skinheads, tattoos blazing with World War II era flags. No,
Right.
these were brand new, out of
That's
the
out of the
package.
bag with the crease marks in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were not. Yeah. And if
Because
someone
that's how neo-Nazis roll.
right. Yeah. No, I've seen actual video of neo-Nazis. Anyway, so what were we going into this here for here?
But yes, this is when Ted Cruz is interviewing FBI Director Wray about these new military violent extremists and the different symbols that are now considered military violent extremists.
Yesterday, it was reported that Project Veritas had obtained a copy of an FBI training material, which listed various symbols and themes which, in the FBI's estimation, were indicative of, quote, militia violent extremism. Now, these symbols weren't things like the Ku Klux Klan or the Nazi Party, which naturally would be symbols of that, but instead they included, rather astonishingly, patriotic symbols of our nation and our history. Included on this list is the Betsy Ross flag. Now, that's fairly remarkable that the Betsy Ross flag in the FBI's indication is indicative of militia violent extremism, because among other people who have been publicly alongside the Betsy Ross flag, we have President Barack Obama, who was sworn in directly underneath two Betsy Ross flags. But it's not just President Obama. We also have President Biden, who was sworn in under Betsy Ross flags. It's not just the Betsy Ross flag. Also on this list is the Gadsden flag as a symbol of violent extremism. Now, the state of Virginia has a license plate for the Gadsden flag, as do many other states. I think people would be astonished to find that having that license plate, the FBI indicates that you're a violent extremist. Also included on this is a text that I was particularly struck, is the Gonzales battle flag. Come and take it. As indicative of being a violent extremist militia. Well, I will self-report right now that every day in the Senate I wear my boots that have the Gonzales battle flag on the back of them. Director Wray, what are y'all doing? This makes no sense. Do you agree with this FBI guidance that the Betsy Ross flag and the Gadsden flag and the Gonzales battle flag are signs of militia violent extremism?
Well, Senator, I'm not familiar with the particular document you have behind you.
Well, Senator, I'm not particularly familiar with the document.
Yeah, I'm the director of the FBI, but I'm not familiar with any of the documents
The plausible deniability.
that all my subordinates are being trained with.
Right.
I'm not familiar with this.
Like he doesn't sign off on training material.
No, and you know,
Because it's FBI doctrine.
right.
You know, I mean, it's like the stuff that we went through, the training stuff that we went through. All that stuff was signed and approved by the upper echelons of the Marine Corps, which you were in,
Yes.
and the United States Army, which I was part of.
Yeah, and so this was his response. He said he wasn't aware of this specific document. He said, "Well, Senator, I'm not familiar with the particular document that you have behind you, and I'm not in the practice of trying to comment on documents I haven't recognized." I'm wondering why he hasn't recognized it. How does this get through? How is this training material on the basic level, you know?
Yeah. Well, you know, and if it is training material, which it seems to be, you know, that's just one step for them, you know, with the Betsy Ross flag. I mean, that's historical United States, you know, flag. I mean, it was the founding flag. It was the original United States flag.
Right.
How unpatriotic do you have to be to classify that as extremist?
Very.
I mean, why not every other United States flag with less than 50 stars on it?
I don't know.
Because before Alaska became a state, the flag was only 49.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, that wasn't the only thing on that flag, or on that paper.
Right.
You know, it wasn't just the Gadsden flag. It wasn't just the Betsy Ross flag.
I have the Gadsden flag.